Hello, hello. Looking for my gloves. Look at that, for the first time. I think I managed to set things up without being terribly unprepared for something like this. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Where do I have my things? Let me just move my YouTube around so I can see your comments as well. Welcome Gabriel, welcome Pavel, Andrew, everybody in the house. So, I've been working quite hard lately. I've been doing a couple of all-day 12-hour shifts here. So I don't have a lot in the brain department at the time. So please feel free to just throw ideas at me, otherwise I have no idea what I will draw. But I will just get started with something. What I will do first is tone this white down a bit. Something more pleasant. Let's do gray. And then just let's draw on top of it here. And usually we do robots, so we always enjoy a couple of robots, so let me just do that. I'll bring up Pinterest as always. Pinterest is my friend, just to have a couple of examples to get started with. And let's see where we're going from there. Maybe not a robot, maybe just some spaceship thingies. Not sure. I'll just let my brain do its thing for a second. By the way, is music too loud? Loud enough? Not loud enough? Tell me how you guys are perceiving it. Because, yeah, let's make this chill and nice for everybody. Once again, just like last week, I am going to try and keep it relatively short. Because, yeah, I'm a bit tired. But yeah, feel free to drop down those suggestions. As I said, I'm just throwing some random shapes together, trying to come up with... I decided to, instead of robot, to go with some sort of spaceship. And yeah, I don't know what it is now. What it is yet, to be more precise. I do like the back more than the beginning, well, front, not beginning, so I will do some erasing there and just see what else I can do there. It's a little bit too also, it's quite edgy, so what I'm going to do is probably transform that very soon. I don't want it to be that edgy. Got your coffee, chiefs? Cars, cute girls standing in front of them. Well, I don't think I'll do the cute girls. Not really my thing. But the car, I might go with a car. Give me a suggestion. Tell me. Give me some nice classic American muscle or something. It's been a while since I drew a muscle car. So I'm all up for that. In general, it's just always fun to draw muscle car sort of things. Let me see how I can solve. I always have this rounded thingy in my design because for some reason I just like this shape. But I want it to make a little bit more sense. Giant space hamster. Fox Body Mustang, Giant Space Hamster. Maybe I can do a Giant Space Hamster in there. Fox Body Mustang. Let's see. Oh wow, okay. I never drew this type of Mustang, so... Okay, let's see. I feel like I got images with aftermarket parts. Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna copy the image so you guys can see it as well. There we go. Name it as Perseverance, as it's... Well, I'll continue with my spaceship in a minute. I just want to do this car. And maybe this car will be driven by a space hamster. Oh boy. Okay. So a funny thing is that I always forget that muscle cars are not just the classic looking ones, but we have these, I would call it unorthodox, even though it probably isn't. Okay, center line, we need a center line. Then we go up towards the greenhouse, right? Let's see. Might be a bit long. And then this is straight. Streamed by NASA. Oh, space hamster. Oh, Perseverance. That's the helicopter, right? The helicopter landing now. Well, okay. See, if I would have known that that's happening now, I would have not put my stream at this time. I've been a bit out of the loop. It's totally my bad. Okay, we'll call the spaceship Perseverance once we get back to it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I sort of like the proportions here. It almost never happens that I like the proportions of my cars. I always have to do some sort of adjustments. But yeah, at least this time around, actually, I don't dislike it. Hi, it is first time when I come in time to watch your stream. Hey, welcome, Dimitri, welcome. Happy to have you here. So we have mostly talking heads. Okay, so Rev Guy, I appoint you to be my official updater on what's happening with the Mars helicopter. I mean, I remember reading some, or watching, I'm not sure what I was doing, some reports on it, because it was interesting because they didn't know how to approach the whole helicopter thing on Mars, because it would push up or pull up, it said a lot of dust, right, because of the propellers rotating. So it's cool to see that they found a solution. Oh, yeah, I'll get back to that later. So my idea for this one was to take off the roof. There I was going on about liking the proportions, and I made the greenhouse a bit too high. Okay. Oh, so much for that. But yeah, so what I wanted to say, I wanted to take off the roof and just put in a space hamster, which still might happen. Let's see where the evening takes us. Okay, so let me put down some more lines to help me see where we're going with this car. So this would be the bottom. Okay. I want to make the front fender a little bit bigger. By bigger, I just want it to pop out a bit more, because right now it's not really popping out. Round it a bit. I hope I get to go to Mars one day in my life. Oof. That's a good thing to look forward to, I guess. I'm a little bit skeptical. I don't think it's gonna be cheap enough for us everyday people to be able to afford that. I mean, if you just look at how expensive a first class or business class ticket is, I don't know how we will be able to afford space travel. But it is something definitely worth looking forward to. I feel like the back is a little bit longer, right? Like this comes a little like this, and it goes back something like that. Just because I can see that my wheel is not really fitting in there. The wheelhouse is, I'm having issues fitting it in there properly. There we go. The rover is of 2 modules. It will lower near ground with rockets, but as it reaches certain height, the rover module is lowered by wires. And the rocket module fires away far from the rover. Yeah, okay, that's smart. I like that. Oh, just a little break. Okay. So yeah, I've been working quite a bit the last couple of days, and if you don't have these sort of timer things, you can mess up your body quite a bit. And yeah, I haven't really taken the advice of my timer, really, so my body's probably not the happiest with me right now. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. So this goes a little bit to the front. Over here I can make space for a license plate. I must, like, little things like this makes, it's not that it makes me excited, but it's just a nice little novelty for me, because European license plates are just longer and the American ones are these weird rectangular ones. It's always funny to do these little details. Okay, that's one side. This is the other side. Till there, and then there. Okay, so usually I make the lines super edgy and straight, and then later on I come in again and I try to soften them up, give them a little bit of curvature. There we go. Sleep is very important indeed. But in general, I only overwork myself during the day because I'm not a night person. So after a while, I just shut down. Either way, zoomed a bit too much there. So generally I get enough sleep. And funnily enough, I don't know what happened with me during the last couple of years, but I started waking up relatively early, 6:30, even if I go to bed 11, 12. I can function on 6 hours of sleep quite well. And usually I do function on 6 to 7 hours of sleep. I think that's my general sleeping time. Okay, we have a little bit of area like that there, and also for the back one. Yeah. It's a good one, Rev Guy. I've never drawn this car. It's actually really fun car to draw. This is why I like these. You guys give me some really cool little things to do. You've done something in 10 minutes that took me like 3 days. it's just the experience, man. It's just keep on doing it, you get there sooner. I when I was younger, I didn't feel like I can draw cars at all. And technically, I'm not that good at drawing cars, because even though I do draw them quite often, I just feel my visual library is still not there. I was together when I was doing my masters. I was together with a couple of guys who were really car fanatics, and they were talking to me about the different parts of the car, how the proportions work, what's off, what's not off. It's just, yeah, I can see that you guys love this shit. I just couldn't keep up. But it's really all about just getting the basics down, and the rest will sort of solve itself. Like, for example, this door here looks like, oop, definitely not nice, yeah. that needed fixing. We need a handle. Okay, I'm gonna make a new layer for the wheels because I usually tend to mess up the wheels. And we have a nice sort of star shape. So I'm just gonna draw that in like that. And now just fit it in. I could thicken it a little bit. Something like that. I can't access to your web, and I don't know why. Because I took it down. If you're talking about my website, I'm about to do some renovations, and I wanted to do that before this last client came on board, and I had to do too much work for it. But in the next weeks, hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll be able to update it. But yeah. To be perfectly honest, I'm not the best at keeping my website up to date. So, no process. There we go. I need 7.5, otherwise I get grouchy. Yeah, I get that. I was like that earlier as well. For where I get grouchy is the under 6. Under 6, I'm not a happy hippo. I'm getting quite, yeah, unpleasant. I don't want to say unpleasant. Okay, so the tires go a little bit higher, I see. Something like that. There we go. I think this sort of works. Yeah, it is something like that. Your line work is great. I'd like to be that deliberate with my online work. Thank you. Well, it has its pros and cons, right? I find it extremely hard to paint without line work, and it's usually good to be able to do that. Like whenever we're doing spit paints or just quick paints with my painting buddies, I always have to do a quick line setup, otherwise I get lost very quickly. Just because I'm not secure about my volumes and my shading. I like that. Here it could be a little bit more like that, but it's okay. Fill in the dark area. Something like this, yeah? Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure if you can see the wheel on the other side. I think a little bit, yeah. So the thing is, I didn't quite stick with the pose here. I turned the car a little bit more towards myself. So just because you can't see the wheel, well, almost can see it, but just because you can't see the wheel up there doesn't mean that here it won't be visible because of the angle that I chose. And I feel like I should make this just a little bit more like that bend, that roundness that we have here. I feel like I should emphasize that a bit more. And now I also merged down the wheels layer. I want to make this, there we go, a little bit of darker, play with it a bit. Yeah, motorheads. I am definitely not a motorhead. I mean, I love looking at cars. I love hearing about cars. I love watching car shows. It's just, I don't know, I was never interested in driving a car. Like, actually, my parents had to convince me to do the driver's exam. Like, hey, come on, we pay for it, everything. Just get your driver's license. And I got my driver's license 2006. And the first time I drove was in 2017 when we visited the States. So I was freaking out, and we only drove. Well, I was only allowed to drive in the desert, where there was very little traffic. Oh, actually, I don't want to make the interior because I'm going to put the space hamster in there, right? We need a little bit of. Yeah, but anyway, so I was never that much into driving, and then I moved to for another break. Okay, guys, let's have a quick stretch break. But yeah, I moved to the Netherlands and to Amsterdam, and because public transportation is so good here, you really do not need to drive a car here unless you need to buy something in bulk, like bigger pieces. Those are the two times when you really need a car. Otherwise, you can do everything with public transport. Okay, let's look up a hamster. Aww, that's cute. Oh, right. Okay, these are cute. Copy. Okay, that's our hamster. So I'm just gonna open up a car, and now here I have to make a couple of assumptions because I don't know how this car looks. I imagine the roof, if it go back there, and then here we have nothing but the door, and then our cabrio roof, and then here would be one seat, and then there would be the other seat, and then you can't see that part. And maybe it would be good to do a little bit of the dashboard. There we go. So we took down the roof of our car, and now we're going to put our hamster friend in here on a new layer. First, just to be sure that everything's cool. Okay, I feel like these, they need the neck brace. And this is silly, I don't know why I'm doing this, since probably this will be covered by the hamster in any minute now. But hey. Looking forward to see your new web. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was in Romania. So I did my driver's license in Romania. Actually, I find learning to drive in the Netherlands much scarier because, first of all, bicycle people, bicycle riders, bicyclists, whatever the word is, they have priority everywhere. So it's quite scary. Okay, I see. It's harder to it's harder to talk when I'm drawing something that I'm not familiar with because apparently I have to pay more attention. I'm gonna draw a retarded space hamster. But yeah, so back to Romania. Actually, it was funny because my driving instructor, I think it was the last day before my driving exam, told me that I drive worse than little girls. So that was that was not exactly promising for my driver's license. But in the end, I took it. Actually, I had zero problems. I had one of the higher scores out of the batch of people that I was doing the driver's license with. But still, I didn't really use it ever since my American holiday. So I don't know how much useful it is. Okay, I'm having a bit of an issue here. I'm gonna cheat, you guys. Okay, I know you don't want to see me cheat, but I'm just gonna cheat. I'm gonna trace. It's an absolute no-no. in the art world. You're not supposed to be tracing. Unacceptable thing. The only thing is, like when you're doing work for clients and they need you to get shit done very quickly, they really don't care how you get the shit done. So yeah, if my next couple of years would entail me drawing hamsters every day, I would say, yeah, let's not do this because I have to learn how to draw a hamster. But since it doesn't really, I'm fine with tracing. Okay, there we go. So I'll turn the opacity of the car down a little bit, see where I put the hamster's hands. Thank you for not telling, guys. Everyone rides bikes in the Netherlands. Well, see, funny thing is that I was riding bikes back home in Romania. I was really into cross-country mountain biking. And then I came here to the Netherlands and they don't have mountains. And yeah, everybody rides bikes here to get from point A to point B. I'm putting the old school thing on him. And to still get some sort of adrenaline out of commuting or just moving, I switched to the longboard for the longest time. It was quite fun. And last year my girlfriend got me a race bike for my birthday. And that is actually fun. I never thought about picking up race bikes because I was just not a race biker. But since we don't have mountains, race bike is really fun getting around. I didn't go for too big of a distances. I think like 60K was the biggest, something like that. But I had a lot of fun with it. So where I wanted to have like some ridiculous hands. There we go. I like that. This looks stupid enough. This one's still a little bit stupid as well. Okay, I want to keep it on the same height. Yeah, something like this. There we go. Yeah, I could have probably just looked up how to draw a cute hamster or like a cute cartoon hamster. Like I swear to God, using good reference is a skill in itself. Like learning how to use proper reference is something that you need to learn as well. This hamster is everything but cute. And the thing can't go out, right? What if I do the black eyes? Oh great, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Don't you guys love it when you draw on the wrong layer? There we go. Yeah, it works better with the dark eyes. Let him steer with his feet. Well, he's steering with his front feet, technically. Or do you call them arms and feet? It's hamsters? I don't even know. I still don't like this arm though. I have to admit. Yeah, I feel like the body should cover more of the arm. I think that works better like that. Okay, then we can have the, I don't know, Tony Stark or Darth Vader type of box with all sorts of tech in there. All right, I am coming to the close of this one, and will return to my spaceship that I started. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is bring down the opacity of the hamster and bring up the opacity of the car. Okay, so what's hidden? This area is hidden. We don't see it. And here either. And we don't see that part. There we go. And then the little arms are covering that as well. Now I have to erase the parts of the hamster that the car is covering. Like that. Opacity back up, merge down. And now just finalize it. Okay, let's... not taking a micro break while I micro break, but almost it off. It is a dorky hamster, this shit. He needs a gun. Hamsters always carry guns, don't they? Alright, well then he's driving with one arm. He's driving with his left arm. And then he will have the gun in the other arm. How about a phaser? Since I gave him that. I don't know if I... It's rare that I draw phaser guns. I don't even know how to draw phaser gun. Okay. Something like that. I guess. That looks stupid enough, doesn't it? Okay, I need to make the arms a little bit thinner. We want to keep it stupid. And it's still sort of like in that astronaut uniform. Throws a shadow there. There we go. Little tiny hands. Anthony Clark's, yes, I am using my Cintiq 13 HD. Like that. Let's give it some silly sort of container, something here that's also see-through and has some bubbles in it. There you go. And then something like this. Perfect. I find that to be perfectly stupid. Merge down. Let me see if I need to do anything more with the face. How about we put a little bit of cap on him? I like that. We're trying to make him look as dumb as possible. I feel like I'm putting way too much effort into this. Great guys, see, it's totally worth checking out my stupid live streams. We're drawing squirrel, it's even squirrel, it's hamsters with phaser guns and cars. Right? Yeah, that gun did make it better. That was a great suggestion. Maybe some reflection on glass, something like that. All right. There we have him, our little hamster in the car. Hey babe. There's camera. Girlfriend wanted to make sure that there's a camera. And I didn't do the front of the car. So I addressed that quickly. There we go. That's better. I just suggest, I don't go too deep within the headlights, but I do want to suggest a little bit more of a headlightiness. I'll just add some crosshatch here and there, suggest some depth. Something like this always works nicely. There we go. I don't know if he's going to McDonald's or not. Maybe he's robbing McDonald's. Just go over a little bit lines, make it a little bit thicker. As I always say, if you make lines a bit thicker, it's more clear that it... Oh, headlights. See, so this is something that I always forget when I draw cars. A nice set of headlights. Bring down the opacity a little bit. So I do tend to bring down the opacity a little bit because if I have a lot of lines there, sometimes it's harder to see what's actually going on. So I try to solve that by just bringing down the opacity slightly. There we go. Well, that's sort of what we want for a headlight. And then I can, since I'm adding actual car accessories, I can also add the windshield wipers, which once again, they are not really accurate, but they just need to get there. I need to suggest it, but it's good. Okay, erase. Maybe erase a little bit here as well, just so it's not too many lines. Sometimes if it's too many lines, they tend to interfere and it's harder to read. If Perseverance doesn't find one of the on Mars, I'm going to be disappointed. Yes, for the chief, if I understood correctly, it's happening right now. People are watching it, and Rev Guy is supposed to keep tabs on it and update me if anything interesting is happening. Okay, we have, let's push this to the side. Let's go back to our spaceship, which we're also going to call Perseverance. Oh, there's quiet. Why is there silence? Don't we want music? Yes, please continue playing music. Thank you. A hamster on Mars, but in a Mustang. Let's not forget that. Like, I don't know which one is weirder, the Mustang on Mars or the hamster. Oh. So I think I want a little bit of, I don't know. So I'm trying to leave this area a little bit more open here. Something like that. This sort of shape exploration with spaceships is always interesting. Because right now it's not really anything that's like super recognizable. And I don't just want to put in random shapes, but that's what's happening. Yeah. Okay. It's more of, if you guys watch what's it called? Come on, The Expanse. It's more a little bit more on the lines of The Expanse, slightly pushing towards more realism, which would mean that we also don't really need windows on it because everything is happening through screens. So this is probably just a hard surface end here as well. Like adding this sort of X thing is a cheap trick to make things a little bit cooler, I feel. Oh, this is really not correct. I feel like almost this doesn't, the spaceship just doesn't work because I'm drawing it after the silly hamster. And I can't take it seriously and try to design in a serious manner after we just did that hamster. I guess this should be the entry hatch. Cutting in here a little bit. This is a lot of just cutting and removing and adding surfaces just to see what works best. So, oops, no, still the right layer. I'm just going to add a shadow and maybe move it a little bit closer to the ship because I want to add, I want to see the size. I think that's that would be something like the size for it. And this is definitely not a ship that is meant to enter atmosphere. So this is only in outer space. Thinking one big exhaust port or smaller ones. I'm not sure which one works better. But both can work. Okay, let's add some. Huh? Okay, which one is on the wrong layer? This is on the wrong layer. Cut and paste. There we go. And now I just hit the hamster layer so we don't accidentally draw on that layer again. So I want to have a couple of like small exhaust ports here. Less exhaust, more like CO2 vents or something like that. Just so you can push and change direction easily. And we should have some of those there as well. And here on the sides. I mean, I like the base shape of the ship. I mean, I do think it's something that's worth exploring. if I would be, or if I would have to design some sort of spaceship. Some sort of fort there, don't know what for. I could add, they are relatively close, so maybe it's not. I was thinking about adding an extra door here. No, that's nicer. I like those platings there. Okay, let's add some gravel and more detail. Let's go to it. This is a little bit flat and boring, this area. So let me try and see how I can cut it and make it a bit more interesting. That would come up here. I'm just gonna continue the section line also a little bit. I feel like it might be interesting if we cut into it slightly here. So just make some sort of area like this. Oh, yeah. The thing is, we're not in Earth atmosphere. Like, I imagine small things like this, if you would need to fly a ship, catches a lot of turbulence. No, but in outer space, I don't think that matters that much. Yeah, we definitely need. I want to bring this out a little bit more. So just so it stands out a bit, and I'm gonna make sure that this area is a little bit bulkier then. Maybe something like this. Yeah, that gives it almost like a wing impression. I like how that is working. The Marlon Roberts, welcome. Hello. We are doing Perseverance. Actually, let me just write it there. Wow, that is that was quite cute. There we go. There we go. Just a little bit of text. Make it a little bit nicer for the eye if we give it that aerodynamicism that it doesn't need actually. I must say I ate it left. Starting to look like a stapler. It does, doesn't it? It's a transformer ship that can turn into a stapler. But I guess if I come back to the actual stapler area and define these exhaust ports a little bit more, maybe we can step away from the stapler feeling. Just some little bit of detail here and there. Give it some teeth, some bite. There we go. Like technically, I don't know why you would need these sort of long parts in an engine or in a spaceship, to be more precise. I like to give it a number, and I usually go with a number 7. I don't know why, but that's just how we roll. Maybe make the shadow a little bit more defined. Something like this. But I usually don't pay that much attention to the shadows, because in this case I really don't need it to be precise. I just want to have something to plan my little guy here against. I'm just gonna put, I like putting some sort of refuel or rearmament, whatever you want to look at it. It just gives you a bit more of a scale if you have a little cart that people can push around. People usually have a good understanding of what a cart like that is. I am going to go on a different layer and just see if filling this in is an option or not. Even if not filling in, at least I have the selection now and I can just go crazy. And do something like this. Hide it, rotate it back. Okay, what if I shift G color? Oh no, that's radial. I don't want it radial. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll just leave it there. Okay. Maybe just highlight some shadow areas. Some of these nozzles. Let's add some extra nozzles. Nobody will know what it is anyways, but I just want to have them there. All right. I feel this can also use a little bit of cross-hatching. This can be quite dark. Like, I could play a little bit more with this upper plating. This is a little bit more on the boring side. I know you have been busy, so I assume that you haven't had a chance to try out Krita. No, it's somewhere in the background. I was actually thinking of doing it today in a live stream, just working with Krita, and then I just forgot about it. I totally did forget about it because I did want to use it in one of the live streams just so we can sort of explore it together. But that's something that I can put into my to-do list for next week's live stream. Just, or maybe if we do one Saturday, let's see. Let's see how we feel. But yeah, that's definitely something that hopefully I won't forget again. Thanks for reminding me though. Yeah, I like this now. I just like the silly, dumb, thick body shape with only a couple of design elements. Yeah, weird. I did not expect to like this. Ooh. Okay, guys, I think I'm fine with this. I think I'm going to, there are probably some more details are going to come, but that's probably tomorrow because I want to crawl into bed now. The body's really at perspective. Yeah, they do. We can just give also a little bit of plumes coming out there. And since we have a nice gray, okay, here, I have a nice little trick. I select on the outside, 1 action, 2 action, boom, it's filled with color. Ain't that magical? Let me take away the white from here. Just like this, so it stays dark. But let me leave this white. Bam. Okay. I'm just gonna lock the layer. Choose a bit of black gradient, and I locked the wrong layer. No problem. Pick another one. Come on. Don't be mean. Random, but when do you wake up? Moin, Elijah. Moin to you too. I wake up. Today I woke up at 6:40, something like that, because I overslept a bit. But usually I do wake up around between 6:30, 7 is my usual wake up time, I would say. But also my going to bed time is relatively early. I tend to go to bed between 10 and 11. It's rare that I stay up any longer than that. It's just I guess I'm an old man. I just get tired and sleepy. And just don't feel like staying up much longer than that. if you're asking because you can hear it in the energy of my voice that I'm super low energy, it's just a bit of tiredness. I know I'm usually a bit higher energy, and hopefully next week we'll be back to that. Maybe I should have gone just a bit. Yeah, that could be better. And then I just go over it with the white again. Perseverance have landed. Nice. Oh, that's because I want to find a good time to wake up to. I could do more than 2 weeks at 5. Are you doing some 5 a.m. work? Why are you waking up at that time? It's quite harsh. Okay, it's 10 p.m. and we have a ridiculously stupid hamster and a spaceship. I think that's not bad. For an hour's work, I'm relatively okay with this. Something like this. Maybe add a bit more white here, there, something like that. 6 sounds easier a bit probably. 5M club book plus prayer. I'll share the book in the server. Okay, I'm curious what you're doing. Do you have to wake up that early for the prayer? I mean, I imagine you do the 5 times a day, right? Like, is it mandatory to wake up, or is it some sort of? It's not Ram. It's not. That's. Or wait, does that change? Is that at every time? I thought that's usually during summer. Hours drawing. Good job. Thank you very much, guy. I feel like this surface here can be much whiter. And maybe here I can add a bit of, oh, not there, here. Sometimes you can make nonsensical things like leave some area open. Oh, okay, now I feel like this area could be quite a bit more shady. Yeah. Maybe this area as well, just a little bit. And as always, I can make the number a bit lighter. No, it's not mandatory, and now it's around 6. But besides the prayer, the book really motivated me. Okay, it's good. How often do you sketch draw? Well, relatively often. I draw for a living, so I draw on a daily basis, I guess, but it's not always for myself. For myself, I try to draw every day. Sometimes I do every second day or third day. It really depends on level of busyness. But ideally, I try to sketch a little bit every day. Oh, I don't like this. When I use this sort of brush, it becomes very muddy. That's why I usually switch to the gradient tool, because just having a nice gradient is usually nicer. That just looks better. And I don't want to white there. Okay, I think I am going to stop here now for tonight. I had quite a bit of fun. Thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you Rev Guy and the others for keeping me updated. What if this bad boy had some rotating legs that land on the side front plate kind of give up for landing leg? Yeah, but as I said, if you look at the shape, I don't think this is something that can enter atmosphere and be aerodynamic and not die. So it's mostly made to just dock at docking ports. Okay, it's getting late. I don't know words anymore. Peter, I would suggest you look at my industrial design fundamentals. I have some tutorials there. And yeah, with that, once again, thank you everybody for joining in, and see you guys Monday or in the next week, whenever that is. Have a great weekend. Goodbye, y'all. Oh, wait, before I go, let's turn on the stupid hamster as well. There, Mr. Stupid Hamster is saying good night. Bye bye.